This is Ross. And some good field position out near the 37. A return of 25 yards. And the Boilermakers already with a nice way to begin things. And here's the Energizer starting lineup. Purdue's offense led by quarterback Eric Hunter. He can run with the ball as well as any Big Ten quarterback. And he's in the backfield with leading rusher Arlie Connors and freshman Mike Allstott. Wide receiver Ernest Callaway has led Purdue in receiving 3 consecutive years with Ross and Simmons. And 6'5" senior center Nick Mamula has had both knees operated on with Caldwell, Broughton, Sidoris, and Janicki. And you see a gain of about 3 in the fullback Mike Allstott with the carry. It'll be second down. And about 7 to go for Purdue, winning last week at Iowa City, an upset 26-17. Greg James there riding high heading into today.
And that's exactly the kind of play they have got to be successful with today to have a chance in this ball game. Running the football between the tackles.
Second down, 7. Arlie Connors. He turns the corner and is close to a first down. Shante Peoples makes the stop. Gain of 6 on the play. Now for the Michigan defense. Ninif Aga Khan had an interception last week. Rare for a defensive lineman. Stanley is alone, and Henderson is from nearby Indianapolis, the top recruit in the state. Chris Hutchinson has made the excellent transition from defensive tackle to outside linebacker with Dyson Walker and Morrison rounding out a very solid linebacking crew. And Corwin Brown may be the best secondary player in the Big Ten. There with Ware, Wallace, and Peoples may be the fastest in Wolverine history. Third down and 1. The big fullback Mike Allstott has picked up the first down, crossing midfield and into Wolverine territory at the 48.
Strength of Purdue is running the football. That's why it's imperative that Allstott have that kind of performance today. You'll see this Purdue offensive line, not as big as that defensive line. Get your feet moving, run behind your shoulder pads, and get all you can. Fullbacks, don't be fancy. Look for yards.
Of the Wolverine 48, first down and 10. Arlie Connors over the right side near the 46. Gain of 2. Second down 8. Ninif Aga Khan with the defensive stop.
Connors has really played well. Jeff Hill, the other man that was hurt, he was their starter. Connors has come on, and with a 4.9 average, that's something that any ball carrier would be respected with. He will have to use his vision today and not let Michigan's defense intimidate him.
That first down by Purdue is the first down in over 2 games that the Michigan defense has given up. Second down and 8. Arlie Connors. A flag is thrown as he carves out about a yard on the right side. And the tackle made by Gannon Dudlar. Gary Moeller, in his 3rd season as the coach of the Michigan Wolverines, began 3-3, and since that time has gone 22-2-2. Jim Kemmerline is our Big Ten referee today. Purdue picks up the first penalty of the day, and they march it back just outside the Boilermaker 42.
What you can see here is right over here. Here's the key man. He'll come down the line and make the play. He's got to read these men pursuing. He's got to cut back when he sees that. The pursuit of the Michigan defense tells him right now, cut back, cut back. That's why Purdue's offensive linemen, behind the play called, they've got to make their blocks.
Jim Coletto played with Terry Donahue at UCLA. This is his 2nd season. Second down 19. And Eric Hunter, the senior quarterback from Hampton, Virginia, will talk things over with Coletto and the sideline of the Purdue Boilermakers. And while we have a moment, we'll take a break. About 2 minutes into the ball game, and no score. Purdue at number 3, Michigan. Knows when ESPN comes to town. Here's a 2nd and 19 for Purdue with no score. Into open field. He's got a first down to the Michigan Wolverine 23-yard line. Dwayne Ware with the stop and a gain on the play of 33 yards.
Outstanding block blocking here. Look at this, just right up the middle. He reads it. He sees that everybody is bunched to the middle. Allstott then covers the football up. He's a strong human being. You cannot tackle this guy unless you wrap him up and use your body.
He is a freshman. And that was a career-long run of 33 yards. Deepest Purdue penetration. 1st and 10. Harley Connors, the leading rusher on the Boilermakers, takes it over the left side.
Chris Hutchinson made the stop.
And Chris Hutchinson, who we were talking about before, making that transition from the line to the linebacking core with the Michigan stop.
I think it's important for football fans to remember that Purdue, as we mentioned, did upset California. They did beat Iowa on the road last week. Michigan must get into this game early.
7th play of the drive, 2nd down and 9. And he's wrapped up again. Maybe picking up a yard, but no more than that. Michigan's defense very good against stopping the opponent's run. Number 1 in the country in that category. And Gary Moore looking for his 5th consecutive championship with Michigan. 3rd and 8 from the gun. Hunter, the quarterback. He's got the tight end, Scott Green. Shy of a 1st down by 3 yards. Nonetheless, he had some time to locate people.
He had time because he's such a great athlete. This is one of the problems Michigan will face today, is that Hunter at quarterback can run and roll, so everybody's got to really respect that. Great vision, and he does have a strong arm. This guy just doesn't run the football. He can throw it.
You've got a scrambling quarterback that just opens up your offense, doesn't it?
It puts pressure on that guy at the linebacker. Do I go up and support run, or do I stay back and cover in the pass?
Field goal attempt now with 34 yards. O'Leary has not missed a field goal all season. 11 of 11. Make it 12 of 12. And Purdue has scored first. A good kickoff return, some 1st downs, and a well-executed drive. And the Boilermakers lead it 3-0. 3-0 Purdue. And Brad Bomich will be kicking off. Wheatley and Mercury Hayes deep back for Michigan. A world of speed with both. Mercury Hayes at the 5. All the way to the Michigan 34-yard line. Return to 30. That is a freshman from Houston, one of the bright young stars on Michigan's team. All right, here's the Energizer Michigan offense, number 1 in the country. Tyrone Wheatley, the tailback, averaging more yards per carry than any other Wolverine in school history. Gerbach, the quarterback, Leggett, an excellent blocker. Derek Alexander had 4 touchdown receptions last week against Minnesota. Smith is quick, and McGee has added a new dimension to this pass receiving ability. And Michigan's line averaging 295. The center Everett, number 2 in the country at that position. Jenkins is 6'8". Skeen, Kakuzo, and Doherty are blocking ahead for Tyrone Wheatley. Wheatley out near the 36-yard line, averaging 7.4 yards per carry.
That's going to be a headache for Purdue's defense today. They have got to stop him before he gets his big body moving. It's imperative that that defensive line penetrate and slow him down early.
In and 2 for Wheatley. 2nd down, 8. Michigan down 3-0. Wheatley. Wheatley that time near the 39-yard line, and Bart Conley, a freshman, ushers him out of bounds. Jeff Skagina is the outlet trophy candidate, coupled with Gray and Cole. They weigh about 40 pounds less per man than the Michigan offensive line. Linebacker Eric Beatty leads the Big Ten in tackles, his 3rd in college football. Bratton and Conley are the hitters. And Jimmy Young is the best cover guy in the secondary with Buckland, Johnson, and Adams. 3rd down and 5, Michigan. 3 wide receivers. Gerbach the pass. Dropped by wide receiver Walter Smith. Incomplete pass, and Michigan must punt on their first possession.
That's that individual defensive effort there. Guys doing their job as a team and succeeding in sending Michigan to the bench.
Ernest Callaway will get the punt from Chris Stapleton. From the 28. And to the 32. 3-0 here. Last year that game, 17-6. So they're up on top early there. He's out to the 35. Gain of 3. Second down 7. Tackle made by Steve Morris. They're running a lot right at the interior of that defense, aren't they?
They're really going to try to draw them in between the tackles with the fullback and then the sprint draw play to the tailback. That will open up eventually the option to the outside.
Second down, 7 yards to go. A Purdue 34-yard field goal, the difference from a Boilermaker 35. Play action by Hunter. He's got a receiver. Wide receiver Rodney Dennis with the reception into Michigan's 40-yard line and a pickup of 24 yards.
It takes great pass protection to run a deep ball in a route like this. Eric Hunter has a ton of skill. Now watch him and the patience that he displays here. This is a senior quarterback. Look at the pocket that is formed. Perfect pocket gives him time to throw the deep ball.
First down and 10. The fullback, all stop. And he grinds out a couple. Does Michigan look sluggish to you early on?
I think Purdue looks good. This is one of those Cajun points where the home team has a lot more to gain than the visiting team.
Michigan winning last week 63-13. Purdue and Eric Hunter and coach Jim Coletto with an upset win at Iowa City. Second down 8 from the Wolverine 38. Pull back again, Allstott. Quick hitter. And he's got a Purdue first down to the Michigan 29-yard line. Tackle made by Corwin Brown in the secondary for the Wolverines. Another first down. Here Michigan's defense had given up first downs in the last 2 games.
Nina Bakakai, number 90, he misses the tackle. He's coming inside. He's got fullback responsibilities. Get down the line of scrimmage. He had gotten in the backfield and then towards the fullback. He's got to go straight down the line.
First down and 10. Hunter, the quarterback. This is his forte. He can run. Nice pickup on first down. Belted out of play at the 23. And he picks up 7 yards. That makes second and third down all the easier when you get that big gain on first down.
This is called a tongue hanger here. You force the defense to try to hit you and you keep making them miss. And by the time they get through running to the sidelines to get you out, they go back to the huddle and they're looking for air. What a great athlete.
Oh, it's second down and 4. First quarter clock at 7:49. Purdue leads it 3-0. And look what Purdue has done in offense today. Picks up yet another Purdue first down to the 19-yard line. Tackle made by linebacker Marcus Walker. And they're blowing him off on the line of scrimmage.
Well, and the backs are reading properly. That time the nose guard really went to the outside. Connors read it and went straight up the pipe. That's what you got to do as a ball carrier. See what they're giving you. Lloyd
Carr has gone through so many injuries with his starters on defense this year, losing big-name players in the secondary. Purdue with 5 first downs. Here they've got a first and 10 inside the 20. And on the 7th play of the drive, Mike Allstott, freshman fullback, takes it up the middle and picks up a couple.
And as you look at this play here, Allstott would have had an even bigger play. But what happens is the backside tackle, he's the guy. You got to block. You got to keep him out of there because when he makes the cut backside, look at it. Oh, boom. There comes that linebacker.
Second down and 8. Another big hole inside the 10. That is another Purdue first down. Tim Brando, we've got a shocker brewing here in West Point. 7 consecutive games at the Carrier Dome.
Dead ball.
Back to 1982.
On the offense. Dead ball. Personal ball. On the defense. First down.
I didn't think anybody in the country could catch Conry Ismail.
They got him, but they got him there. He's a nice player.
Gary Moeller, he's got to figure, hey, what's going on here? This is the ball club we're facing today that did upset California and Iowa.
It is a 1st and goal for the Purdue Boilermakers. That's Mike Allstott with his 8th carry today. And he's got 66 yards. He's been the workhorse so far. The young freshman is only averaging 3.2 coming in, but he has found some cracks up the middle.
Michigan's defensive philosophy is to hit, get separation, and release the offensive blockers. Right now, Purdue's staying on them. They won't let them get rid of them, and the ball carriers are reading what the offensive linemen are giving them.
2nd down and goal from the 6. Hunter to throw. Look out! Touchdown, Purdue! Again up the middle.
You know that saying that hesitation kills? He doesn't hesitate. He gets back there, sees the opportunity. Boom, he's gone.
Extra point by Joe O'Leary. The clock at 5:46. First 2 possessions, 2 Purdue scores. That's the story.
Purdue has already rushed for 94 yards in this ball game. Michigan usually just gives up 79 a game. Now that's an indication of why the score right now is 10-0 Purdue.
And on top of that, Michigan has allowed, coming into today, Craig, only 13 first quarter points. Purdue scored 10 in one game against them. And Gary Moeller, whose team went through midterms this week on the Ann Arbor campus, and he said it was a sluggish week of football. Can only pace and wonder how he's going to get back in. But when you've got Tyrone Wheatley, when you've got Derek Alexander, there are some answers to that question.
Hey, don't be lulled to sleep. Michigan will score points.
Bobich with the kickoff. Wheatley and Mercury Hayes deep back for Michigan, trailing 10-0. Tyrone Wheatley. He still doesn't have it. Down at the 10. And Purdue will start with their worst field position of the day from their 10-yard line.
When you go back and you look at the touchdown, Eric Hunter, he will get back into play action. The wide receivers right in here, they're all moving across. Defensive backs, linebackers looking for them. Hunter takes opportunities there, right to the goal line, gets kissed, but it's enough for 6.
On the 10, 1st and 10. Tyrone Wheatley. As he gallops up to the 17-yard line. Tackle made by Pat Johnson. He's the free safety coming up and stopping Tyrone Wheatley, who leads the Big Ten in rushing yards. The sophomore from Detroit.
Michigan will not get flustered, obviously, because of the maturity of Gerbach at quarterback and Wheatley and Alexander. They'll continue to stick with their game plan.
Double tight ends for Michigan, 2nd and 2. Gerbach to throw. He's got Wheatley on a swing pass. He picks up the 1st down to the 22-yard line.
Tyrone Wheatley, they work so well together with Derek Alexander. Right there on the play before, Alexander cleared out and allowed Wheatley to catch the football. That is a ton of offense that those two gentlemen put out on the football field.
That's the first Michigan 1st down picked up by Tyrone Wheatley. 4:54. We're in the 1st quarter. 10-0 Purdue. He's got Walter Smith on the sideline at about the 28. 4 yards shy of a first down. Walter Smith, a redshirt sophomore from Detroit, kind of in the shadow of Feldman Melbo and Derek Alexander. But he's nonetheless extremely quick and extremely tough. Tackled by Jimmy Young. What do you think of this no-huddle Michigan offense, Craig?
He's giving Gerbach plenty of time to see what kind of defensive fronts they're going to give him.
Second down 4. Bernie Leggett, as he crosses the Michigan 30, stacked up by Bart Conley. He had 16 tackles earlier in the season against Notre Dame. He's already got 3 registered here today. Now they got second, making third and short.
Really nice job here. You'll see the linebackers. They come around. He makes the play. That's a great defensive call by the defensive coach. Did you see the play coming in? Right in the backfield.
Third down and 2. Jesse Johnson in for a Michigan first down. As he spins his way to the 33-yard line. Again, Pat Johnson there on the stop. Jesse Johnson, a junior from Harper Woods, Michigan. Began last year with a nice starring role in the Iowa win at Iowa City and is part of the threesome of Powers, Wheatley, and Johnson.
Big house. I think that's what Fowler calls it.
Hey, they've got some speed and they've got some depth at that tailback position.
Well, that's going to put a lot of headaches in that Purdue defense. They got to stay on their toes the entire ball game.
First and 10. Feldman Melbo. Gain of 3. The throw. Syracuse came in 6-1. They've got a darn good team this year.
They do have a good team. They got a challenge coming up when they have to play the Hurricanes at home.
Second down 7. Michigan trailing 10-0. Late first quarter. Eddie Davis. And he works his way near the 40-yard line. Michigan starting to get that running game going. They go to a new body, and once again, Pat Johnson with his 3rd tackle on this series. We're down to 2:45 and ticking.
Boy, this is where you win football games. You get that big offensive line, that tradition. They block off Scanina. When you do that, number 40 there, he can't get out there in the play. That's why you have production.
Do you think they're better run blocking or pass blocking, the Michigan offensive line?
I think they're good at their pass blocking because they're so effective with the run blocking.
Good point. 3rd and 3. Eddie Davis. He's stacked up. He does not have the first down. So Michigan must punt for the 2nd time in 2 possessions.
Purdue's defense, 6 and 7 ball players around the play every snap. They must maintain that same intensity.
Ernest Callaway is deep at the 25. And he runs out of room. 10-0 Purdue, late first quarter. That punt sailed 34 yards. Michigan's first time they've trailed at the end of the first quarter since the Notre Dame game early in the season. This will be the first play of the 2nd quarter. Mike Ulinski will. Let's see what he does here. Alexander at the 27. Boy, the door closed on him in a hurry. That's a punt of 40 yards and a return of 3. 10-0 Purdue, surprisingly here. Purdue's last victory over Michigan was in 1984. Jim Everett finds Jim Price and the Boilermakers go up 14-0. Later, James Medlock's run puts Purdue up 24-0 in intermission. And in the second half, Rodney Carter's 16-yard run puts Purdue up 31-7. And they hold off a furious Wolverine rally late for the upset 8 years ago. Now it is 10-0 Purdue. We begin the 2nd quarter. Michigan 1st and 10. Tyrone Wheatley stuck. They're keying on Wheatley. Michigan, they've punted the first 2 times they've had the ball as they talk with that defense. Pat Johnson makes his 4th solo tackle of the day. Michigan, Craig, I'll take a look at the numbers here. They have outscored their opponents 125-9 in the second quarter this year. 125-9. Look at that.
Wow.
Second and 7. Gerbach. Alexander. He can't lasso the pass. Incomplete at the 35-yard line. And Elvis Gerbach has been riled up here early with his team trailing by a field goal and a touchdown.
You know, there are Saturdays, and when they come out with a schedule, they should put a flexible ugly somewhere. You know, you just can't play well every Saturday.
Third down and 7. And again, the no huddle for Gerbach, as Craig said earlier, gives him more time to study the defense. An act that you might see in Barnum and Bailey, and a juggling catch made by Derek Alexander. A gain of 19. Some pushing after the play, nonetheless, a Michigan first down.
That's the kind of play that'll wake up a bench. It'll wake up a huddle. You get things going like that, and people say, hey, we better put a little salt in our pants and go to the huddle, fellas. This is getting serious out here. Look at the concentration. He knows he's going to get beamed. He continues to watch the football, and then everybody comes his way. Excellent hands. Great concentration.
Talking about the quick striking ability of Michigan. They've scored 14 touchdowns this year in less than a minute. First and 10. Tyrone Wheatley. And he digs and turns his way for almost 8. Pat Johnson again makes his 5th tackle in the first half. Tyrone Wheatley, track star, state champion in the state of Michigan.
You like this guy, too, in the Heisman running, don't you?
What do you think about him?
Hey, if he'd had some early games that were big like he has lately, he definitely would be considered
You
one of
put
them.
him with Hurst and Fulton.
He's not. He's behind them, but he should be considered. He's setting himself up for 93.
Second down 3. Wheatley again. What tremendous penetration on the play. With Jeff Skagina making the stop. Tim Brando back to you. Was favored by 4 going into that game. Wow. Michigan was favored by 29 here. Look at this. 3rd and 5. 3 receivers for Gerbach. The blitz and the reception. Walter Smith, folks, he is going to be gone. A touchdown at 43 yards for Michigan.
Purdue knew that they would have to gamble some today. They knew they'd have to come with some type of coverage scheme or blitz scheme. That time they got caught with it. That's the price you pay for the ball club that has had, at this point, 17 touchdowns from 25 yards or more.
That was a career-long reception for Walter Smith from Detroit. Elizabeth will try the extra points and bring this game to within 3. He does. 12 before the half. Purdue still clinging to a lead of 3 over number 3 Michigan. Eric Hunter, the quarterback. Nice move. He's got some room. He's got the first down to the Purdue 35. Chris Hutchinson there, a gain of 12. And again, the scrambling ability of Hunter causes mass confusion on the field.
Mentioned that quick strike offense that you talked about, how many points they'd scored. This is pretty impressive. Now, this will scare a defensive coordinator to death.
First down, Purdue.
You've got great receivers in Tyrone Wheatley. I guess it can happen. And guys like Walter Smith. First and 10. Option play. And the slippery Hunter picks up about a yard. Buster Stanley was a nice play out of Youngstown, Ohio. 273 pounds. Clogs up that middle. Now, this is a time for adjustments. After the first couple plays, guys like Stanley now beginning to see the ball a bit better.
The defense now starting to understand what Purdue's coming at them, the blocking schemes. They're now trying to get off of the offensive blockers a little bit quicker so they can get into the running lanes.
It is a game of matchups and adjustments, isn't it?
All the way.
Second down 9. Look at him fly. He's out to the 45-yard line. And he's about a yard shy of the first down. Arlie Connors, leading rusher, averaging about 5 yards a carry. His brother is on this team, and he comes from a family that has littered the Lindbergh High School, St. Louis, Missouri school with football players from freshman through senior year. He's a good one.
He's got to continue to tell Eric Hunter to pitch the ball to him. The play before, Eric tried to cut back inside. He should have kicked the ball out to the corner and let Connors have it then, too.
Third down and 1 for Purdue, leading by 3, second quarter. Full house. First down and more. Earl Coleman, 5'8", senior. Houston, Texas, picks it up the middle.
Earl Coleman, he and I went to the same high school. This guy, he's got to be something good out there.
You know, Greg, it has got to be hard week in and week out for a team like Purdue to take on the heavyweights like Michigan, but there have been some nice motivational strategies used by Jim Collette over the weeks. Just enough
To really confuse that defense. Just enough. You don't want to overdo the deal because you're a running team.
First down and 10. Hunter with nice play action. He's got the tight end. Scott Green backpedals his way for a first down to the Michigan 25. Gain of 27 yards.
The tight end here, you'll see, when he comes off the football, nobody blocks him. Nobody knocks him off. He has a clean release. No linebacker drops to stop him there, and Hunter finds him. Excellent job.
It is first and 10 for Purdue. Arlie Connors slashing. He's close to a first down near the Michigan 16. Co-captain Corwin Brown, number 20, stopping number 5, Arlie Connors. He's carried it 9 times for 34 yards.
We have not seen Michigan's defensive line penetrating into the backfield of Purdue. The play-action pass has worked in that it's keeping them just enough off balance. They're not laying the ears back, getting in the backfield.
Second down and 1. Nice position to be in. And it's again for a first down to the fullback, Mike Alstott. The Purdue wheel keeps turning. That's a good point. Alex Van Pelt, very crucial. And a player is down for Michigan. That's Marcus Walker, who was injured earlier in the season. As we come to you from Ross-Ade Stadium in West Lafayette, Indiana.
Walker's had a heck of a game so far. He's been forced to have a good game playing inside. A lot of opportunities for that fullback.
You know, he had the unenviable task of replacing last year's Lombardi Award winner Eric Anderson out at the Kansas City Chiefs. Walker's brother plays for the San Diego Chargers. But this kid is a very, very tough player. As they assist him on the field, as you see scores from around college football. Kansas a hot team.
Kansas will have a chance to find out if they're for real, though, coming up soon.
Yes.
They get a little of that.
Nebraska, a little Colorado.
That's right. But Mason's done a great job with them.
Well, injuries have been a story for the Michigan defense all season long. They have lost at one time or another 5 different starters. And Lloyd Carr has had to mix and mash and bring people off the freshman roster and elevate them up. And there you see him trying to look for some more numbers now. It's like a manager in baseball going down his lineup, crossing out names, adding names. That's what Lloyd Carr has had to do with the injuries.
And it's really difficult in this situation because Purdue's doing a great job running the ball inside today, and you lose your inside man. Then that puts pressure on the guy to come off the bench, get warmed up, and in a hurry when you're in the red zone.
Lloyd Carr has been there for a long time, since the late 70s, and there Marcus Walker now getting a bit of a feel of things. 10-7. Purdue with the lead at 9:24 remaining. NFL primetime. That's all tomorrow on ESPN. Walker is up off the field. 8th play of the Purdue drive. 1st and 10 with 2 tight ends. The fullback all-star. Purdue keeps hammering up the middle, pounding away, pounding away.
They're averaging 5 yards a carry on the ground compared to Michigan's 3.1. Didn't look like All-Star got that much. But, man, I tell you what, the guys, the line, they're moving the ball north and south.
And Michigan's defense against the rush is 3rd in the country. Look what's happening today. 2nd down and 7. Hunter, quick hitter. And again, the fullback all-star, who coming into today had only carried 25 times. He's got 12 carries already. We're not even at halftime yet.
Somebody forgot to tell him that he was going against a great rush defense.
Yes.
Somebody forgot to tell the offensive line that they weren't supposed to show up. You got to watch right in here. Look at this nose tackle, 79. He is held up and occupied by the center. He is not coming off making plays. And in a 3-4 defense, if you control that nose man, you're able to run the football.
Last time they had this position, they had a nice 5-yard touchdown run. What do you call here?
I go to the corners. I option it. I roll.
3rd and 4. Hunter will do it himself. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Purdue! Lassoed a high pass from Eric Hunter deep in the end zone. 16-7 Purdue. O'Leary with the extra point. He has not missed all season long, and he does not miss there. A big story is brewing in West Lafayette. Purdue by 10 midway through the second.
I tell you who it's done.
Gary Moeller.
Well, and Lee Corso. What Corso tell us about this fast-track Michigan offense?
Said 4 touchdowns, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Hey,
4
Coach,
touchdowns.
Coach, you better go get another cup of coffee. It's not working.
Michigan getting spooked. 7:56 second quarter. Purdue 17-7 on a gray overcast afternoon in West Lafayette. Did you say Michigan should be number 2?
Yeah.
I got to stick up for the coach. Wheatley will have the ball on the back pedal at the 8. Michigan continues to stagger to the 21. Michigan 1st and 10.
Going back looking at the touchdown, the outside linebacker, he's got to hold up the tight end. He gets a free release, though. Green goes back. He gives himself a 1.5 yards. The linebacker from the inside that's got to try to cover Green is not able to do that because the tight end wasn't held up. He gets caught in the play action, and that's when you miss your linebacker that just went out of the ball game.
Is the tight end, you think, the most underutilized position in the game? I mean, they block sometimes, they're thrown to sometimes, but it doesn't seem like they get enough attention.
Well, they can surely put pressure on the inside part of a defense.
Right. Like they've done against Michigan and Purdue. 1st and 10. That's Jesse Johnson. I don't know why Tyrone Wheatley has not been carrying more, because Wheatley came in as the top rusher in the conference. 6 carries, 21 yards. Or Wheatley. Jesse Johnson will leave. Wheatley comes back in now. Halfway through the second. 17-7. Wheatley again. And he bulldozes his way out near the 28. Pickup of almost 4. Well, it's time now for the Holiday Inn students of the game from the University of Michigan. Chris Hutchinson is a senior from Houston, Texas. He's a pre-med major currently enrolled in the School of Kinesiology. And from Purdue University. Eric Beatty, a senior from Oak Park, Michigan. A three-point student in 3 men. Currently rolled in silence. 3rd and 3. They do not have the first down. Michigan is a yard shy. Thomas Adams makes the stop. And once again, Michigan must punt. This will be Michigan's 3rd punt in 4 possessions, and they have a right to be excited in West Lafayette.
I mentioned to you, Wheatley, you got to stop him before he gets going. The defensive line, they get in the backfield. They never allow Wheatley ahead of steam, and that's how you stop the man.
Stapleton to punt. Ernest Callaway will get the short punt. Or will he? No, they down it at the 40. So Purdue will get it again. Purdue has scored 3 of the 4 times they had it. They lead it 17-7. 17-7 with Charlene Hawks and Craig James. Kevin Harlan. And Purdue has gotten this way with some outstanding quarterbacking by Hunter. Smith caught a long touchdown pass from Gerback, but they have not been able to match the offensive firepower of Purdue today. This will be the 5th possession for quarterback Eric Hunter, who is 5 of 6 through the air for 71 yards. And he has been running across the field, sideline to sideline. 1st and 10. And with Michigan stacking up and Buster Stanley making his presence known, Purdue with their best starting field position of the day.
That was their best effort by their defensive linemen. They controlled the blockers in front of them, got rid of them, and went to the football.
Second down, 11 yards to go.
You know, Kevin, when you're running from the I formation, there will always be a lane somewhere for you. You've got to keep your eyes open and find it as a tailback.
The fullback stacked up, so on 2 consecutive running plays, some hard hitting by the Michigan defense. And with that in mind, Charlene Hawks, we've had some injuries in the game. Give us an update downstairs.
Kevin, an update on Michigan's Marcus Walker, who went down on the field a few minutes before. He suffered a stinger to his left shoulder. They expect him to be back in soon. He's just sitting this one out to rest up his arm. It's feeling a bit numb now, but we should see him back in. Kevin?
All right, Charlene. Thank you. Stinger's kind of painful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's painful, plus you lose your strength. Right. That's the main thing that he's having to deal with right now. When will he be able to squeeze that trainer's hand hard enough to let him back in the game?
3rd down and 11. Let's see what Derek Hunter pulls out of his bag of tricks on Halloween. It's a handoff to Earl Coleman. Earl Coleman 5, 10. He does not pick up the first down. Corwin Brown sealed him off on the side. Now, it'll be 4th down and about a yard and a half. What do you do?
Punt the football, field position. You pin them back and force this dynamite, explosive Michigan offense to go 90 yards on you to score.
Second punt and 5 possessions for Mike Kalinsky of Purdue, and there is Eric Alexander, maybe the finest punt returner in the country. 2 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. And they've set up the return. They'll call for a fair catch. At the 15-yard line, a punt of 33 yards, and they get it inside the 15. Ah, look who's here.
Hey, Fowler and Corso. They dressed up. They wanted to get out of the studio. Brando's probably driving the car somewhere, parking right now.
First down and 10 for Elvis Gerback, who wants to throw. Little screen pass, and they've got an escort for Jesse Johnson. Ooh, what a hit. Gain of 5, Roman Gatt was there. I'm telling you what, he knocked him into next week.
Michigan doing a good job of play calling because Purdue is so aggressive in getting vertically up the field right now that these little delayed passes to the backs, the screens, are working for their offense.
Michigan had a lot coming into today's game. A victory would have given them, will give them, 18 consecutive Big Ten wins, a record, but they trail now by 10. Second 5. Tyrone Wheatley He'll be close to a first down as he was weaving his way upfield. Tackle made once again by Pat Johnson. That'll be his 7th from the Purdue secondary.
The reason I think Tyrone Wheatley is one of the best in the country at running the ball is because he's got great strength and size inside between tackles, yet he also has vision and the ability to pull away from everybody as a tailback. 9 of 31 on the day. Not great numbers considering that he usually averages over 7 yards a carry.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Michigan in this no-huddle offense. Bernie Leggett coming in late. He'll be a wingback on the Wolverine 25. Derek Alexander. And he may have acquired the first down near the 35-yard line. Jimmy Young, the best cover guy on the team, was there. And Derek Alexander, who blew the knee a year ago, was head-to-head with Desmond Howard last year, but Alexander was injured.
I think if you looked in the dictionary, you would see cushion written somewhere in between here. I mean, this is way too much room to be given a guy. I understand Alexander can run right past you, but I mean, 10, 12, 13 yards, you got to get a little closer than that.
Well, then what's the normal? What should a cornerback be off a guy like Alexander?
Well, seeing how I couldn't cover my own shadow, I'd probably be 13, but probably 10.
2nd down 1. Wheatley, he's got the first down for Michigan, bulldozing his way to the 38-yard line. And we've got 3:02 clock stop, 2nd quarter. Purdue leading 17-7. Eric Beatty from Michigan, who is not recruited by the Wolverines, makes the stop for Purdue's linebacking core.
Purdue can't stand toe-to-toe with Michigan for 60 minutes, so they need to, from time to time, really mix things up, and might mean to come with a blitz right here and there sometimes.
1st down and 10. Toss by Gerbach. Alexander slips. Incomplete. And 2 interesting ball clubs up in the back. Well, Gary Moeller didn't expect this, folks, from West Lafayette today. But again, it is Halloween. You never know. 2nd down and 10. Wheatley. He dives close to a Michigan first down. Eric Gray. Would you call this a bend but not break defense of Purdue?
Well, really what they're doing is they're getting to the football. 6, 7, 8 guys, every snap they're pursuing the ball. Tyrone Wheatley on that play there really did a great job, though, of setting up his block to the outside and then getting back inside.
The boos are because the spots in the view of the partisan Purdue crowd was not all that well put down. And so they bring the chains in. Is that his Halloween costume, or is that... Oh, that's regular Big Ten attire, isn't it? He's short by a good yard. 2:23, 2nd quarter. Purdue has gotten a running touchdown from their quarterback, a 5-yard touchdown pass to the tight end, and a 34-yard field goal, 17-7. Michigan trailing. Michigan was favored by 29 points coming in.
It's college football, right? And that's why you come and you watch the games. Purdue with the enthusiasm and the home field advantage. At this point, staying with them.
3 tight ends for Michigan. And Leggett, the lone runner. With 3 tight ends and Leggett, I would imagine will be a running play.
Yeah, excellent time to run the football.
3rd and 1. Leggett, he got it. He got it on a spinning back pedal near midfield. 1st and 10, Michigan. Tyrone Wheatley. He's grabbed around the ankle and clawed down. Nice hit on the play by Batson. A sophomore from Detroit, Michigan. 2nd Big Ten interceptions, but that time his penetration foiled the running play of Gary Moeller, the Michigan coach.
The key to his success there was that once you get a hand or something on Wheatley, you better wrap up and hold on for dear life, because Wheatley will bust it and make big plays on you.
2nd down, 11. Fumble on the play. Gerback covers it up. And a flag thrown at the 47-yard line. I don't think I've seen a Michigan team struggle like this unless I'm watching a Rose Bowl game like they did last year against Washington.
You just can't play great football every Saturday.
Well, you know, the senior leadership has been so important for Gary Muller, something he's carried over
There
from
is
Bo
no
Shepard.
fall. There's no fall. It'll be third down.
They rely on the senior leadership so much. It's been a week of midterms. They said it was a sluggish week of practice. They had to get up last week to take on Minnesota and again this week against Purdue.
Gerback just pulled out too soon because the center put it where it was supposed to be.
Third down and 14. Michigan trailing by 10. Gerback. He wants to go long. He's got Alexander. Oh, he puts it inside the 5. One thing that Derek Alexander always says is I'm always compared to Desmond Howard. Every time I drop a diving try, they said, oh, Desmond Howard would have had it. Desmond Howard would have had it.
But as a wide receiver, this is an incredibly tough catch. Number one, you know you're open. Number two, you're sprinting with all the might that you have in your body, and that headgear and the face mask going up and down, and it's hard to concentrate on the pass.
Ernest Callaway will wait for the fair catch. Alexander said he can't keep thinking about Desmond Howard. He's got to get him out of his mind and be his own receiver. Said plays like that don't help the critics who are always after him.
He shouldn't. I mean, look at the great catch he made earlier.
He should just forget about it. Be his own guy. 49 seconds remaining.
28 yards.
That kind of play there really shows the Michigan coaching staff that Alexander can run right past that deep safety.
Boy.
I mean, he went right past the guy.
And Craig, you know how bad his knee was. I mean, that thing was blown all over the place. His offseason rehab was extremely admirable and set the tone going into fall practice. A class kid, Derek Alexander. First and 10, Purdue leading 17-7. Here's the fullback again. Look at Mike Allstott ramble his way for yardage for a first down to the 45. A gain of 19 yards on the play. 41 seconds before halftime. And today, he's carried it for 95 yards. He has been the running star for Purdue. Well, moments ago, Gary Muller went to console his star wide receiver, Derek Alexander, on the sideline. Muller is a tremendous individual. He can empathize with the young wide receiver. First and 10 from the 45. What can Purdue do here with 41 seconds remaining?
Give it to Eric Hunter. Let him roll and either run or go down on the ground.
Look out! Incomplete on this screen pass intended for Arlie Connors as Hunter scrapes himself off the stadium floor. Down 11 at his arm.
It's supposed to be nasty weather out there today. Texas Tech will play tight in that one.
Second down 10. Connors, look at him, Jim. He cannot give up as he's out near the 49. Dave Dobrev with his first tackle today, and they're going to just let that clock run out, you think?
I think that they're in a perfect situation now. You use the wide side of the field with Eric Hunter. You fake it to the right side, let him roll, maybe a quarterback boot with a tight end dragging across the middle. He either hits green or he runs the football.
Jim Coletta was the offensive coordinator at Ohio State before he accepted this job, and he is going to call a timeout with 4 seconds remaining for a 3rd and 7. While we have a break and a 17-7 Purdue lead on West Lafayette.
Be aware of what the situation is. You got to use the clock.
3rd down and 7. Final play of the half. They'll wind up. And it is caught at the 1-yard line. Caught at the 1, but time has expired.
That's where your 12 seconds would have come into play for you.
Excellent points. A 51-yard gain to the Michigan 1. Time is gone, and Purdue may have let slip an outstanding scoring opportunity.
But there's a lot of momentum running into that Purdue locker room right now.
Let's watch it again.
This wasn't the lob Hail Mary. This was on the line, a bullet thrown to the outside. The receiver turns, knows the ball's going to be there, goes up, makes the play, and we got a football game here in West Lafayette.
A shocker. A double reverse. Alexander. A first down. He could go all the way. At the 25-yard line, gain of 31 yards. What is Michigan doing?
They are now running the ball. They're blocking. They are executing their offense like they have all season long. Now, hey, this is one of those that you got to remember how many times you're going to hand the thing off. The defense starts to pursue. You'll see everybody run to the top of the screen. Reverse field. They try to go back and recover. By that time, Michigan's blockers were all in line over there, and Alexander couldn't outrun the angle.
First and 10 Michigan at the Purdue 25. Jesse Johnson. And he gains a little over 5 running up the middle. You know, people talk about Gary Moeller, the coach of Michigan. I think one of the more underrated things about his coaching has been his ability to advance, to not settle for the status quo and modernize his offense.
Well, you mentioned the formation, the variations that they have there. That's a way of changing a little bit, giving that defense another way of looking at you and confusing them.
Second down and 4. Leggett, the fullback. And he is hit right there as he works his way inside the Purdue 17. Michigan has taken the second half opening kickoff, and they have taken a little more than 2.5 minutes off the clock.
At this point, with Michigan moving so much, you don't want to call a timeout and lose one of those, but defensively, the way you can offset that a little bit is to come with a blitz. You can come inside with linebackers, maybe you come with a corner, but you do something to try to slow down the machine.
It'll be a 3rd and 2 for Michigan, and quarterback Elvis Grbac. Johnson, first down to the Purdue 11. They have run, they have thrown, they have pulled off some trickery on Halloween, and they are beginning to move here in the second half.
Teams that are able to run the football usually win. And easy to see here in the second half the mentality that the offensive line has taken, because it's up to the big boys. If you want to run the football, it's got to take place up front.
And with that in mind, double tight ends for Michigan. And they've got it on the 8th play of this drive. First and 10. Grbac, Alexander, incomplete. Sensational play by Jimmy Young, number 22, the junior from Union City, New Jersey.
Jimmy Young's their best cover man, had 6 picks last year to lead the Big Ten. It's simply a job now of where Alexander turns into defensive back and Young can't make the interception. A nice job of him turning around, realizing what he's got to do as a wide receiver.
Second down and 10. Jesse Johnson. He tried to cut and he slips after a gain of 2 to the 10. It is not raining here, although they have predicted rain for today. That was just a clear case of plant and slip.
Jeff Scanina, the All-American candidate on the defensive line for Purdue, number 40. Haven't heard his name much today, but Scanina, that play was in the backfield with the offensive lineman and just averted Johnson enough that forced him to make that harsh cut while he went to the ground.
It's 3rd and 8 for Elvis Grbac. His Wolverines down by 10. Grbac, end zone, tight end, McGee, touchdown, Michigan. Tight end McGee getting Elvis Gerbach with the touchdown pass, the second touchdown pass today by Elvis.
That's when we were talking about earlier what the tight end can do for an offense. The pressure it puts on the middle of the defense. They were spread out wide to the outside.
Owens over with the extra point try. To make it a 3-point game. He nails it. And one more time, Gerbach, who had 3 receivers and a tight end with which to work.
Well, McGee goes up the pipe, splits the linebackers, no help from the defensive backs.
Triple team down the play, and Michigan creeps closer. Michigan quarterback Elvis Gerbach just at that man. Tight end Tony McGee on a 10-yard touchdown pass and on a well-orchestrated 10-play, 92-yard drive, eating up almost 4 minutes on the opening possession of the second half. Michigan means business in the second half, you can tell.
And it begins to put doubt in the defense of Purdue. That's why it's important now for this offense to come out, get some field position, control the football, 4 or 5, go down the field and at least keep the defense on the bench while the rest.
And the short kickoff. It is claimed by Jermaine Ross. And look at the field position he will give Purdue to the Boilermaker 39. A return of 26 yards. Michigan tight end Tony McGee from nearby Terre Haute, Indiana. He's the guy that caught the touchdown pass for Moore down to Charlene Hawks.
Kevin, Gary Moeller calls Tony McGee one of his most pleasant surprises this year, and with that touchdown, you saw one of his talents on the field. Well, he has more talents waiting to be discovered. In fact, Kevin, I must warn you, he told me yesterday he wants your job. He wants to be a sports broadcaster. He's graduating in communications, and in fact, he's already written, produced, edited, hosted 5 half-hour sports highlight shows, and from what I hear, he's got the right stuff. Maybe after he gives the pros a shot, he'll knock on the ESPN door. Kevin?
All right, thank you. Incomplete pass. Hey, they just hired me. I don't want to give this thing up yet.
Hey, I'm glad he's talking about your job, not mine.
Incomplete pass, second down and 10. Give me a feel now what Purdue needs to do offensively after Michigan marches right through their defense.
Obviously, right there, they go out. He runs the play action. He wants to hit the fullback Allstott. He didn't look around. You got to come out and be smooth. You got to know what you're doing there. But Purdue must get back to what they did. In the first half, they had 32 rushes versus 8 passes in their play selection.
It has been a tough day for the Michigan defense, as you saw. Second down and 10. Carly Connors. And Connors maneuvers his way near the 42, tackled by Steve Morrison. Returning starter, he is from Birmingham, Michigan. There's Connors, who is the flashiest of all running backs, but today it has been the quarterback, Eric Hunter, who has been the offensive star.
But if you can stop the fullback play between the tackles, then you can work on stopping Eric Hunter and put a lot of pressure on him. If I'm Michigan, I begin to stunt and fill gaps with the linebackers and the defensive ends crossing, doing different kind of things.
Third down and 6. Hunter, play action. Look out! Down he goes, the second sack of the day by the Michigan defense. So on offense, we saw them knife their way through Purdue's defense, and now the Michigan defense answers with forcing a 3-and-out situation for Purdue, and Martin Davis was there. He's been nicked up, but he makes the nice sack.
Sleeping giant would be the term that you would use for Michigan's offense. Sitting on the bench, 3 plays out, they go back, they stay hot, stay grooved, and Alexander, he's the man that can go deep on them at any time.
There's number 98, Mike Gilinski. Alexander deep back. Out of bounds it'll go. Inside the 30-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. They'll get Elvis Gerbach in Michigan. 1st and 10 at the 23, and Michigan is rolling.
Virginia Tech 35, Rutgers 22.
Michigan took the opening kickoff of the second half, marching downfield in 4 minutes. They got 7 with a touchdown pass to the tight end, and Gary Moeller must have said something very interesting at the half.
I think pride comes into play. He told the big guys on the offensive and defensive lines it's their responsibility.
Double tight ends for Michigan at the 1st and 10, down by 3. The handoff to Jesse Johnson as we have. Well, UTEP has the right colors on for Halloween, don't they? Those orange uniforms. Is this Easter? Second down and 7. Jesse Johnson again. Look at him explode. Jesse Johnson with 1 quarter to beat for the touchdown. behind. Jesse Johnson is running crazy here in the second half.
Johnson using his vision, plus he's taking advantage of that offensive line. The offensive line is dominating Purdue right now. Jeff Skanina, nobody in there is getting into the backfield. Clearly, that is the difference in what could be a big-time rout here in the second half by Michigan.
Jesse Johnson, one of the top high school running backs a couple years ago. 94 yards today. First and 10, Michigan. Gerbach. Malveaux to the 15 and close to a first down depending on the spot. He'll probably be the football's length shy of a first down. A victory over Purdue would give Michigan the longest conference winning streak in Big Ten history. They are now tied at 17 with Ohio State. It was last accomplished over the 74, 75, 76 season. It is a 16-year-old record, and Michigan is gunning for it today. A win, 18 consecutive conference victories. Second down and 1. Eddie Davis. He picks up the first down. Craig, tack onto that Michigan has not lost a road game in the Big Ten since 1988 when they tied Iowa at 10.
Superior talent. Purdue right now is trying to go with a four-man line. They've abandoned the 3-4. They're going with a four-man line trying to stop that running game.
Gary Moeller, who played for Woody Hayes at Ohio State. They got it by the nose of the football, as you see.
This rabbit, okay, he's in the Purdue end zone now. He just went 80 yards all the way and scored to the other end. The crowd went nuts. He came back reverse field, and he scores again.
12th man, that's about as fast as those Michigan running backs have been today, all over the field. At least in the second half. He's at the 40. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. The 30. The 20. 15. 10. Cuts back inside. 5 to the 1. Touchdown. I love this game. We better get that on instant replay, huh? Michigan first and 10 inside the Purdue 15. Gerbach. He wants the end zone. He wanted the end zone and he got the front row. Incomplete pass by Elvis Gerbach. Make it second down and 10. Let's go to Rabbit Cam.
Actually, I was hired as a football analyst, but you get to the end zone, he's in the red zone, the 3. Excellent move to avert the free safety. He's in.
The long stride's the most impressive.
Excellent stride.
How about that run? Second down and 10. Michigan trailing by 3. We're in the third quarter. Gerbach, Alexander. He picks up the first down as he nudges his way to the 3. Pickup of 11 on the play. Batten was there to bat him out of bounds. And Michigan has first and goal to go for quarterback Elvis Gerbach. A nice play to Alexander.
I told you about the offensive line play. Look at this. They have 4 rushers coming their way. They bunch him up at the line of scrimmage. 3-step drop. Pitch and catch between Gerbach and Alexander. They can, Purdue, if they don't come up with some kind of blitz, something to get into the backfield, Gerbach will eat them up.
Elvis Gerbach from Cleveland, Ohio. His high school teammate with Desmond Howard. Today he is like Alexander. 3 catches, 39 yards. 2 tight ends. Johnson to the 1. As the clock continues to wind down, we're down to 7:10 here in the third quarter. Purdue led by 10 at halftime.
Relatively penalty-free game. There's only been 1 penalty in the ball game. No turnovers.
What's he thinking?
He's trying to figure out what he can do offensively when his team gets the ball back to go down and move.
8th play of the drive as Michigan tries to take their first lead of the game. 2nd goal. Johnson. What defense by Purdue?
As a defensive coordinator, you ask your team, spread them out east and west, but that means you've got to have excellent pursuit from the inside out. They do that. Everybody comes, black and gold helmets on top of the ball carrier.
It is now 3rd and goal, with the loss of a couple on the play. What's a good play down this close?
You got Derek Alexander. You can get him one-on-one. You lob it up and let him go for it.
2 tight ends. Johnson. And Michigan has their first lead today, halfway through the 3rd quarter. Nice comeback, huh?
Maybe that's what they were thinking. The defense thinking they were going to go to Alexander. The draw to Johnson up the middle. A big V, the flying V block there by the offensive line and let him get into the end zone.
Lozovic now will try the extra point. Jesse Johnson. It's only right that he goes in for the touchdown. He was the workhorse on the drive. Most of those yards have come in the 2nd half of play. Well, 14 unanswered Michigan points in the 2nd half. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns, and the Wolverines on top. The #1 ranked offense in college football. The #1 scoring team in college football. Flexing their offensive muscles 2nd half. 2 possessions, 2 plays, rather 2 touchdowns. Jesse Johnson, the last 3-yard touchdown run. He had a touchdown pass to the tight end on the opening 2nd half drive. Purdue has given up 14 unanswered points to Michigan. Lozovic. Look at this. Look at this. The ball is down and Michigan has it at the Purdue 20-yard line in the game's first turnover. Dwayne Ware, number 8. What a big play that was.
I told you in the open that 71% of the players on this football team at Purdue are either freshmen or sophomores. If you're a player on the kick return team and you see a ball kicked short, the up men have got to catch the football 1 or 2, field it, and hold on to the football. You can't let it just go past you. Callaway tries to run 20 yards up the field to receive it, but it's not his responsibility. It's those up backs.
1st and 10, Michigan. Walter Smith. He picks up nothing.
Total offense in the 2nd half. Michigan 168 yards to Purdue's 3. Michigan has had 9 first downs. Purdue none.
This man's got to be hurting right now. Jim Coletto, an offensive coordinator at Ohio State, before that Arizona State. Elvis Gerbach has come on, the best passer in the Big Ten, and led this team 10 points down to a lead now of 4. It's Gerbach, the tight end, McGee. To the 10, close to a first down. We bring in close, Tim Brando. Tim, for Georgia Tech. I'm sure that loss early, 55-24 to UVA, and then a couple weeks ago to Florida State, still kind of lingering with that team. But as Tim said earlier, they still have a very good chance at a bowl game.
But not without Sean Jones.
Yep, I know it.
He's the key to Bill Lewis's offense.
Double tight end. This is the first down for Michigan. Leggett. Look at him bump and grind inside the 5. Patton was there to batten down the hatches. On to 4:22, third quarter of play. Michigan came into the second half trailing 17-7. They lead it 21-17.
We've seen an exact reversal of what we watched in the first half. Purdue was running the football all up and down the field on Michigan. They had great penetration with the offensive linemen into pushing the guys on defense. Now we're seeing Michigan doing the same thing. Purdue not flying to the ball like they were, looked a little bit confused out right now. They're just not as aggressive as they were earlier.
It's Chad Buckland who is getting up. It's Gary Moeller. Man who welcomes talking to Bernie Leggett, the fullback. And L is Elvis. L was Elvis. There goes Gerbach to the sideline to talk with his head coach. It is 21-17 Michigan.
Usually, hats off to Gary Moeller, because usually when a coach gets in a situation like that, it's not just L. There are several 4-letter words following that if he's got to call a timeout.
Second half of the season, the most exciting time to have it. All the races heating up. Great matchups throughout the winter on ESPN. Well, looks like the old SMU alums are here in force today and dressed in their favorite red.
Kevin, we were accused of having a lot of Santa Clauses around when I was there.
Would you like to expound on that?
Oh, no, but the NCAA did.
Yes. Well put. Elvis Gerbach. Had a dismal Rose Bowl game a year ago. Spent the offseason thinking about it. Used Jim Kelly of the Buffalo Bills as his model to come back from a downtime. Second goal. Jesse Johnson. Well, the 5 is all he can muster. As the third quarter clock continues to roll on, and freshman Bart Conley, whose brother played at Purdue with the stop. Jesse Johnson. We have not seen much of Tyrone Wheatley. I can't help but think that he may have an injury of some sort.
We jinxed him. We start talking Heisman.
This kid has run very, very hard in the second half.
I tell you, Jesse, and I'm sure it's Big House Johnson. Chris Fowler loves the guy.
Third down and goal. Alexander. He cannot dance away from the Purdue defense. Patton was there. Tank Adams with another hit. And here comes the field goal unit. Or Michigan to tack on 3 more. Gary Moeller wanted 7. He'll have to settle for 3, maybe.
Tried to run the split end screen out there with the tackle pulling, going out, kicking out on the cornerback. That time we saw the pursuit of the Purdue defense like they'd been doing earlier in the ball game.
From 24 yards away, Elizovic. He nails it. And now Michigan extends their lead to 24-17. They have controlled this third quarter. Purdue led at halftime 17-7.
Complete dominance by the offensive line and defensive line. Really, you can't even say defensive line because Purdue hasn't been on the field that much here in the second half. But the turnover on the kickoff, the last play, that's 3 points right there. You just can't, you've got to play error-free if you're going to upset the number 3 team in the country.
Well, it's a full day of college football on ES with the number 1 ranked Miami West Virginia game. Great day of college football on ESPN. With Charlene Hawks and Craig James. This is Kevin Harlan. West Lafayette, Indiana. Ernest Callaway. They'll get this one. Ernest Callaway by the 35 and slides to the 37. State has only played 2 games in the Rockies. The last time 73 they played.
Now there's a cameraman.
First down and 10 Purdue. Arlie Connors. No, Craig, I don't see the same tempo in Purdue that I saw in the first half.
No, you don't see the same kind of blocking up front. That time, Michigan, they controlled the offensive lineman, threw them out of the way, and they waited on the ball carrier.
Look at those numbers. What tremendous differences from the first to the second half. This is Purdue's 4th play from scrimmage this half. Eric Hunter. They'll be shy of the first down by about a yard. Tackle made by linebacker Steve Morrison. And I got to believe if there's any hope for Purdue in the second half, it rests on the shoulders of number 9.
Quarterback coach at Purdue, Tim Salem, told me yesterday that he was a little bit facetious, but he said, we almost need Eric Hunter to step back in the pocket 15, 20 yards, let everybody rush him, and then him use his athletic ability to make plays.
He could do it.
Sure can.
3rd down and 1. Full house. For Purdue as they cross midfield for the first time in the second half. Morrison with the stop. Purdue's first downs have all come in the first half until that one right there.
When they go to that full house backfield, they're running misdirection plays, counters to the left and to the right. Michigan was stunning to the top, but they weren't able to penetrate enough to stop Coleman.
1st and 10. He found a very small gap and he crawled through it. Gain of 4. Corwin Brown, maybe the best secondary player in the Big Ten and one of the top 5 in all of college football. With the stop, he'll pursue a law degree when his days are over. There's Lloyd Carr, the defensive coordinator. He made some nice adjustments at the half.
He's got his front 7 playing really well, knowing that the pressure should come within that box up there, that the secondary against an Eric Hunter team that doesn't throw real well shouldn't have to do that much in coverage.
That gives you an indication of what Michigan has accomplished in the second half. The fullback for the first carry today, Houston Molden, 227 pounds, directed right over right guard. That'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter. If Michigan can hold on, they'll win their 18th consecutive Big Ten Conference game. And that will be a new Big Ten record. Hoping still for the upset. These guys in Purdue. We go to the 4th quarter in West Lafayette, Indiana.
Last year.
Nice quarterback. Sophomore, isn't it? 2nd down 10. And look at the time. It is taking a move. And keeping it out of Michigan's hands. He's changing the play now at the line. He's got all day. Somebody's got to be open. Somebody's got to be open. Incomplete. Rodney Dennis in the sights of Hunter. Incomplete. Hunter throwing today has gone 7 of 12, but he has run very, very well.
They go to the pass here, but the problem is there will only be 3 wide receivers that get into the play. Only 3 guys go out in the route. There are, in fact, 7 Michigan defenders in coverage. No way you get anybody open.
It'll be 3rd down and 10. 24-17 Michigan. Gary Muller's team on top by a touchdown. Well, that now makes it 1 timeout remaining for Purdue. Purdue led by 10 at the half. Michigan has come back and steamrolled here in the second. Well, you can't believe the college basketball is coming up, but tonight at midnight, across the country, Dick Vitale and college basketball fans celebrate with the opening of camp. 3rd and 10. Hit. Steve Morrison read that beautifully. Down he goes. Harley Connors can't achieve any kind of yardage whatsoever. He is thrown for a loss of about 3.5. And here come the Purdue special teams. Now Purdue's going to have to punt. Gary Muller's defense has answered the call. Oh, they're going to try the field goal. Excuse me. It'll be a 47-yard field goal attempt. Joe O'Leary is a perfect 12 of 12 this season. And there's his first miss on Halloween. 10:53. O'Leary has done some pooch punting this year. And so I thought, with this being a bit out of his range, over 40 yards, his career long is 41. And with him being a pooch punter, I thought, well, maybe perhaps they're going to just try to pooch him out. They tried the field goal. Well, Purdue began well today, folks. O'Leary, who just has that field goal, did boot the first points through the goalpost, 34 yards away. Then Purdue came back, and the quarterback ran it in from 5 yards away. Things were getting uneasy for Michigan. They came back, the Wolverines, with a touchdown of their own. Play action by Gerbach. He throws to the tight end, McGee. Get a load of that. By midfield, a pickup of 21 yards and a Michigan first down. Walter Smith from Gerbach, 43 yards. Closed the gap. Purdue came back. And Scott Green, the tight end, lassoed a touchdown pass deep in the end zone. In the second half, it was Michigan coming back. McGee, the tight end for the Wolverines, then Johnson. 2 touchdowns for Michigan. Their first lead came there, and Elizovic added 3 more on. That's where we stand right now. Bernie Leggett, the fullback. Hey, Craig, how do you read Marshall Falk here late in the season?
I really see a different runner than at the beginning. I sense now that instead of a good running back running for 4 and 5 yards and busting for 40, he's trying to go for 40 yards, and it's not happening. He's doing it individually, and you got to work as a team.
Interesting. Mark Conley is the man who's shaken up as he waddles off the field. It is a second down and 8 to go for Michigan, leading 24-17. Jesse Johnson. And Johnson is to the 43. He needs to get to the 39 for a first down. And Michigan may just try some ball control now as we've just passed the 10-minute mark in the third quarter.
This is where the defense has to, a little bit of gamble here. You got to strip the football, tackle it, not the runner, try to pull it out.
Third down and 4 for the #1 offense in college football. Gerbach. Leggett. He picks up the first down inside the Purdue 38. Tank Adams with the tackle. 4 p.m. Eastern time. That should be a tremendous ball game. As Jesse Johnson tries to weave and bob his way and picks up yardage inside the 35.
Elvis Gerbach in the second half, 8 out of 10 in passing. And he's been able to do that because he hasn't dropped just straight back, but he's kind of rolled naked quarterback boots, the tight end drags. I mean, this really been good play calling by the coaches.
Is he a good NFL quarterback, do you see, in the future?
I think because he's got the body size and the arm. It'll take him a few years to learn upstairs how to read the coverages well.
Gerbach. Walter Smith cannot hang on at the 28-yard line.
That's intended for Walter Smith, incomplete.
Gerbach is saying right now that he has got to come back. My receiver, when I throw the ball out there, you got to come back. You got to catch it to me. Number 2, 22, Jimmy Young. If he hadn't been playing so loose in coverage, he's able to break on that ball, pick it, and go the other way.
Third down, 8 yards to go. 8:50 remaining in the fourth quarter. Gerbach. Jesse Johnson. Oh, what a stop. Another big hit is recorded on the play by Roman Benson. A sophomore from Detroit who said this is one of the big games of his career. And he's hopping along a little bit, but he makes a beautiful defensive play for the Boilermakers. And Michigan's got a punt on 4th down. And 2nd-9.
Great job here. You'll see Batten up here. He's going to read what's going on. It's important for him to see that and then immediately go. Because if you wait, then the offensive lineman will be able to adjust and get to you.
It's the first time Michigan has been stopped since the first half. Stapleton. Callaway will let it bounce, and a quick Michigan kick. Out of bounds and the 6. Purdue is down by 7. They've got 8:02 on the 4th quarter clock with which to work. We return to West Lafayette. Purdue led 17-7 at halftime. It's been all Michigan in the second half. But Purdue is down by just 7. And they begin at their own 6, 1st and 10.
Coaches have said they've got to go with Eric Hunter. He's got to win it for them. That's why I really believe you got to let him roll to the corners. It buys him time in an obvious passing situation, and it also gives him a chance to run the ball, pick up 4, 5, 11 here and there.
Reception made by Jermaine Ross, gain of 39 yards.
Jermaine Ross, you'll see him come up. As he goes up the field, you're going to see that it's a post pattern, and what happens is the defensive back never gets to the inside, and he has no help. Ross stayed far enough to the outside that he didn't get in towards the free safety. That's why he didn't get hit in the mouth when he caught the ball.
A couple surprising things on that play. First of all, it's a first down deep in your own zone. You would think the list of options would be very limited. You'd be very compressed in what you could do. He opens it up right off the bat. Corwin Brown is the down Michigan Wolverine player.
Which is bad news here because he's the guy that comes up and runs the for. He's the guy that has a great job in secondary coverage. I'm really, really impressed with Eric Hunter.
I am too.
Wow. I mean, had they had him all through the season, imagine what they could have done.
Well, as you know, he was slated to be the #1 quarterback. He had rotator cuff problems in the summer and into August. And so they had to bring in a young kid back, give him a sophomore, Matt Pike. One of the reasons why they were so up and down early in the season. Hunter has been healthy. He led them to an upset last week at Iowa City, 26-17. And Purdue has played a very worthwhile game today. What about his numbers this afternoon?
8 of 13, 172 yards and 1 touchdown.
Nice. And he takes his team to the line with a 1st and 10. 7:45 in the 4th. Harley Hunter. I don't even know, Craig, he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Michigan's defensive line stuffed the offensive lineman and then went right to the middle of the field. There was no cutback lane. There was nothing there for him.
7:20 clock ticking in the 4th. Corwin Brown is back in the ball game. 24-17 Michigan. 2nd down and 10. Hunter. Look at this. He's got a 1st down, and we send it off to Tim Brando.
Hey, the tail end of that play, Hunter showed why he's a senior and a leader on this team. That's the same kind of motivating factor that Derek Alexander had earlier in the game for Michigan on the juggling catch.
1st down and 10. The middle, Mike Alstott, the fullback, and he crosses the 45 inside the 44. Had you told Purdue coming into this game with Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan State beatable teams for the Boilermakers coming up, and they come out of this a close game with Michigan and with no major injuries, it'd have been a pretty successful day. But look what they're doing today now.
They endure up 6-5 with this kind of showing against the #3 team in the country. That really helps them. Watch the end of this play here. Man, this is when you put the pads on and go to town.
2nd down and 7. Finally, they knock him down. Sack #3 recorded by Jason Horn. He is a freshman, and because of injuries, has been elevated up. And Hunter thought he was going to pull Houdini once again. But boy, when they get that second wave in there, it's tough.
This is why you don't put a guy like Hunter in the pocket all the time, because you restrict him, you confine him. You got the corner blitz coming from the top. If he were rolling out one way or the other, then he's got to beat one man, the corner. This way, he's got 5 guys in his face. He can't beat them.
It'll be 3rd down and 18 from the shotgun. Look at the time. Look at the time. He picks up 3 yards on the play. And he may have had 30 seconds to throw, or at least it seemed like that.
Hey, I looked up at the clock to see if we had time remaining in the 4th quarter.
A tough afternoon for Jimmy Coletto. His team led 17-7 at halftime, and they're on the verge of yet another Spoilermaker mark. Ulinski will punt. Alexander's defense. This is returnable. I tried telling that to the Purdue special teams.
10 men covered that 30-yard punt, and that's why it was only a 4-yard return.
And there wasn't much hang time either on that kick, was there? You're Michigan. You lead by 7. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the game. What's your plan now?
Hey, this is why they're huddling on the sideline. They go to the field, and they just said, fellas, we got to go get 2 or 3 first downs. This is why we're the number 3 team in the country. We want to maintain our chase for the national championship. It's up to us to do it.
2 tight ends. Leggett in the backfield for a Michigan 1st and 10. That is freshman Amani Toomer. He is from Concord, California, and maybe the most recruited player in high school a year ago, signing out with the Wolverines. And on the play, picking up about 4. It'll make it 2nd and 6.
Stops the clock with 4:40 to go. Gary Moeller is not content with just running the football. I mean, he's going to come out, he's going to throw it, he's going to keep you on your toes defensively.
From the Wolverine 29. 2 tight ends. And Jesse Johnson. In waves, the Purdue defense makes their mark. What a play!
Coach Jim Coletto told us that he was kind of afraid about playing on national TV because he didn't want to get blown out. He was trying to build his program. The defense, the offense, they have played an incredibly good game today. Very respectable. The OT counter there, stop.
This could be a historic day for Michigan if they win their 18th consecutive Big Ten win, which would be a record. 3rd and 10. Oh, that opened up nicely. That opened up nicely. First down, the wiggling Jesse Johnson. He picks up 11, and the clock continues to go. 24-17, the Wolverines.
The draw, they've done it before on 3rd and 10, and they got the first down. They do it again. Jeff Scanina on that defensive line, they just were running ears back up the field trying to get the Gervac. You got to be under control. You got to, by the time you get to the 4th quarter, if you're a defensive lineman, you really got to know, hey, he's inviting me upfield. There's something happening here.
Jesse Johnson has taken the place of mistake-prone Tyrone Wheatley and responded. And the fullback, Allstott, who carried just 25 times coming into today, has been a tremendous running back, bulldozing up the middle and gaining clutch yardage for the Boilermakers. That was 17-7 Purdue at the half. And look at the 3rd quarter for Michigan.
Well below their season average, though.
Yes, they're averaging 42 points a game. 1st and 10. Once again, Jesse Johnson picking up a quick 5 on 1st down.
Stopped by Bud Conley.
Kansas with the lead. Wolfpack idle today. That's a tough game between those two ACC teams.
You see Maryland, North Carolina?
Yes. That's
Mark Duffner at Maryland. The guy's got to have a head full of gray hair now because they have lost most of their games this year, but they've all been by short few points.
I predict, though, greatness for that program. He's an outstanding coach.
They had like 500 yards offense against Penn State in Happy Valley.
2nd and 5, 2:45 left in the game. Michigan by 7. Jesse Johnson plowing his way close to a first down. This has been a smash-mouth style ballgame, a true Big Ten affair.
All the way. You know, you come to a Big Ten game and you wonder what's going to happen, and it has. It's been the offensive lineman. It's been the fullback. You mentioned that Jesse Johnson has the 100 yards. All-star. He's the first running back to go over 100 yards against Michigan since Von Dunbar did it last year from Indiana. Something. I mean, it's just been good, hard-nosed, clean, well-played football.
And nobody expected that score you just saw. 3rd and 1. Johnson, he's slipped. He did not get the first down.
Down by young Beatty.
Gary Buller's team coming back. They lead at 24-17, but now they will be faced with a decision. You've got 4th and a little more than 1. You think about it, we'll take a break. 1:50 remaining in the game.
Wind could play a factor in this. It looks like it's blowing one way, but on the field they're crosswinds. You never know what's going to happen to the ball.
Stapleton with punting to Callaway. 1:50 left in the game. Michigan leads by 7. Callaway at the 21. Craig, the problem now for Purdue on that 36-yard punt is that they don't have any timeouts remaining.
That's why they'll have to roll Hunter out of the pocket so that he can run out of bounds, or he can throw the out balls. With the loss of Michigan's linebacker that we lost earlier in the ball game, they've got to take advantage of him not being there. They lose Marcus Walker. They may need to find the tight end down the middle.
So here come the Boilermakers. 1:41 remaining, down by 7. 1st and 10. From the gun, Hunter. He's got Arlie Connors. And it's incomplete. Incomplete pass. Couple seconds off the clock. 2nd down 10. No timeouts with which to work for Jim Coletto and his Boilermakers.
And the defensive coaches, they know that you don't have timeout, so they're going to be guarding the flat patterns. Those DBs, they know what they've got to watch for.
2nd down 10. He's picked up a first down to the 37-yard line. Gain of 13 yards on the play. Eric Hunter once again.
Clock stops to move the chains, get to the line, get the play called right now, and be ready to execute. This is what they worked on in practice yesterday.
1st and 10. Dropped by his wide receiver. Incomplete pass. 2nd down 10.
Really, on a situation like that, you just assume him drop it because it's a 7-yard gain. Clock would have been rolling on him. If you're going to throw the ball to the middle, you need to go past the 10-yard, past the first down marker so that it stops the clock to move the chain.
2nd down 10. He lost his shoe, and he completes the pass. Rodney Dennis picks up the first down. Gain of 18 yards on the play. And shoeless Eric Hunter with a tremendous play. No timeouts for Purdue. Remember that. No timeouts. Brown once again football. Wide receiver Ted McBrown, number 17. And Jim Coletto, the offensive mind, will send it in. And that's Lloyd Carr there between the two striped uniforms. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the gun. Kevin Janiak. He's a senior.
Dead ball. False start. Any offside.
This is a point in a ball game when a ball player has to lock out the fact that he's got to do something in a hurry. You've got to concentrate on the play that's called, on the snap count that's called, and when the ball comes your way, watch it into your hands.
The penalty marches it back 5. 2nd and 15. Purdue down by 7. He'll be short of a first down. A gain of 14 and short by 1 yard. Rodney Dennis with the reception. And the clock to 51 and 50 seconds and ticking.
Important for Michigan to get ready on defense because they can snap the ball as soon as the offense is set.
3rd down and 1 for Purdue. Trailing 24-17. First down. That'll stop the clock. Fullback Mike Allstott with the reception.
Go ahead and intentionally ground the football right here so that you can get organized. Just line up, ground the football.
Good call. Good call. Gives him a chance to kind of reload, doesn't it?
Amen. Go back to the huddle. You don't. I mean, clock's running out of time now. You don't want to do something crazy and throw the interception to the flat. Get back in the huddle. You got 3 plays to go down.
Tennessee was favored by 13 points in that one. Wow. 2nd down and 10. Down he goes. Shaq for a 4th time. And who better for Michigan than Chris Hutchinson? And the clock cannot be stopped because Purdue is out of timeouts. They'll ground it. 10 seconds left.
With the kind of arm that he has, he can definitely get into the end zone. The question is, with 10 seconds to go, do you throw the Hail Mary all the way to the end zone? Or if you're me and I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm running a hook and lateral right now. I'm going to have a play that I throw the curl route at 14, 15, 16 yards, catch it with the ball carrier. He gets it, goes out of bounds, and gives you 1 more shot to the end zone.
4th and 23 from the gun. This will be it. Intercepted Michigan. 2 seconds left. That is the first turnover of the ballgame. Pat Maloney with the interception. And ladies and gentlemen, Michigan will have captured their 18th consecutive Big Ten win. A new record in the conference.
Michigan still undefeated, but Lee Corso said it earlier. Points and votes. If you don't score big when you're supposed to score big, you potentially lose voters. This could happen.
And what's going to happen to Michigan, do you predict?
They'll stay there, but Alabama's going to really come up on them now. Alabama's a strong team.
Final play of the ball game. The Michigan victory over Purdue will give Michigan the longest conference winning streak in Big Ten history. They were tied coming in with Ohio State. A 16-year-old record has just gone to the wayside. Michigan will go to 7-0-1, and Jim Coletto's Purdue Boilermakers will drop to 3-5 and 2-3 in the conference. An exciting game. Wolverines were down 17-7 at the half and came back to win it.